So I'm Adam Holland, Managing Director of Progressive Sports in the East Midlands. I joined Progressive Sports back in 2009, so I'd had a couple of years as an apprentice at Port Vale, so learning on the job what it is to take to be a sports coach. And then I joined in 2009 as a full-time employee. And then it was only in 2015 when I thought, it's time to spread my wings a little bit and become my own boss. So how have I found running the franchise? A lot harder than I expected. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than this.
So I've been with the organisation nearly 3 years. It'll be 3 years in March. And for me, I was doing a similar role at another company, but there was more chance of progression and a chance to step into a management role. So currently I am the Director of Operations. So I'm responsible for the staff and then also the day-to-day running of the company.
So it's really important for Progressive Sports to have strong relationships with not only our schools, but our coaches, but also the communities as well, because we're all in the kind of the same mission together. We're all here to inspire children. And if we're all working towards the same goal, there's going to be more children physically active in our local community, which is what we're all about.
Hi, my name's Bindi Sudhi and I'm the head teacher at Pear Tree Infant and Nursery School. From the very onset, highly professional. That's the first word that springs to mind, really. Adam was very intuitive from the very onset and he knew exactly what we wanted as a school for sports provision and how we wanted to extend our sports provision for our children.
So my name's Aaron Bird, I'm the head teacher of Zaytuna Primary School in Derby. So our sporting offer is fantastic and that is down to the relationship that we have with Progressive. All of our children have access to expert coaching at least once a week through our programme of PE with Progressive. What we're also enabled to have is our extracurricular enrichment offer as well through Progressive, so meaning that all of our children can access high quality coaching before school and after school as well. What we've seen as a result of that is the number of children being more physically active in our school over the time that Progressive have been with us. That's led to a number of our children being headhunted by sporting opportunities such as the local cricket team because of the skill development that they've received.
Probably one story that stands out for me is one of our coaches in the school. There's a young lad who sadly lost his dad earlier this year.
And he was in quite a bad place, quite withdrawn, quite shy. But once we started PE sessions with Mr. Watson, he really came out of his shell and gained a lot of confidence. He built a really, really special bond with Mr. Watson. Any lessons we did where he had to speak about a special person in his life or somebody he looked up to, a role model, he'd always speak about Mr. Watson.
He now dresses like the coach does, he acts how the coach does, and I think that's just shows the impact that coach has had on that school. It's just really exciting to be part of a business that has a lot of opportunity to grow and for me to support the career development not only of myself but also of the staff that we have, and the business, although at times it may not feel like it, is definitely progressing and it's definitely a lot further progressed than it was when I started, which is a hugely positive thing.
So my first proudest moment when I first set up Progressive Sports was my first ever contract. So straight away a big thanks goes to kind of Neil Loftus at Newell Infants at the time. He allowed me to come in there 3 or 4 days a week. So straight away I got my foot on the ground, foot in the door at the school, and straight away in the local areas people started to know who Progressive Sports were. So kind of a big thank you for Neil for trusting me at that time, allowing me to kind of bring my expertise of sports coaching and allow me to run the business at the same time. Obviously, surviving COVID was a huge hurdle and a huge milestone for the business. I remember waking up to the news thinking, how is the business going to survive past the next kind of 3 or 4 months? So actually surviving that and coming out the other end in a positive way was a huge proud moment for me and the team as well. So we've had so many challenges like any business owner, and the main 3 that we've had is kind of myself, the staff, so they're kind of the recruitment side, and also maintaining schools, because there are so many companies like ourselves doing fantastic things locally, so it's difficult to get traction into brand new schools but also to maintain schools as well, so that we have got a strong working relationship with the schools that we're in at the minute. Obviously recruitment is massive because in a service-based industry your people are kind of the people on the ground that are representing me and Progressive Sports. So actually finding the right people has proved a challenge over the years. We've had some fantastic coaches working for us and we still do now. But obviously it's finding and keeping those people, which is always a challenge for any business owner.
I think the culture of the business and the team is the best it's ever been. I think they trust each other, they work together inside and outside of schools as well. We've created an inclusive environment where everyone's encouraged to take on 360-degree feedback as well. So we will provide feedback, schools will, they need to obviously do that for themselves as well. So it's a great environment where everyone supports each other, and it really feels like a real team.
Well, we've been very fortunate because we've had the one coach, Tom, and he's been with us from the very start. He's offered us consistency, which is something that I requested from Adam. He's like a part of the team. He's a part of the school. The children know him really well. The staff know him really well. We look forward to when he comes, so much so that he's actually supporting us in our forthcoming residential trip.
So in the next 5 to 10 years, kind of our mission and our vision is just to keep doing what we're doing and keep inspiring more and more children to be physically active, creating more opportunities for them, and also removing any barriers that comes to physical activity for the children as well. But also from a business point of view, we want to keep learning. We want to keep pushing the business forward, and we want to keep following the educational wave as well.
So we just want to build that relationship even stronger. We know that the offer we get is world class and is really high quality. We want to make sure that we continue to offer a really broad and balanced PE curriculum to our children, as well as that expert and elite coaching that they can offer us, so that our children with particular talent can really excel.
One word's tricky, but I'm going to go for personalised. And the reason I say that is because I've had discussions with Adam where I've wanted some very particular things that suit our community, because every community is so very different, and he's actually really listened in and tuned into that, and he's given us exactly what we want.
You know, I really do have to take my hats off to Adam and all the coaches that we've had here, because ultimately we wouldn't have the number of schools, the number of staff, the apprentices, the opportunities that everyone has if it wasn't for all the people that have been part of the journey. And the same with if Adam hadn't have done the things at the start, then again we wouldn't be where we are today with the bright future that I think we have ahead of us.
Reflecting on the past 10 years, I'd like to thank so many people who have been part of the journey. Obviously my parents, my brother, Gemma, you know, they've been right there from the beginning. They've been pushing me on all the way through. I can remember back when I set the franchise up, and I was driving with Gemma and I said, all that money that we've saved up for a house, can I buy a franchise with it instead? So thanks for Gemma for the patience, but also, like I say, my mum and dad and my brother for pushing me through this as well. But we've had coaches who have been here before, so I'd like to thank them for kind of their professionalism as well. And it doesn't seem real that we've been here for 10 years. And at some point I will probably sit down and realise what we've achieved over the past 10 years and be thoroughly proud of it as well.